I have two amazing brothers in the studio, and I'll give you guys a short story. So it's very clear that I've been focused over the last month and really over the last few months about getting active and getting connected and reconnected to fitness. Being a former athlete, it is very easy to fall off when you become a CEO and an entrepreneur and a family man. Things just change in your life, and so some of those sweatsuits and muscle shirts I had just got tighter and tighter. And so I said, I'm going to get out and I'm going to start running, which wasn't necessarily one of the most exciting things for me. If it's running on a field, if it's running behind the ball or to catch a ball, if it is on the court to play basketball, I can do that all day. Jogging and running just wasn't something that was in my wheel well. And then Brother David, I come across one of his posts, and he's talking about Black Men Run and this amazing group of individuals that are moving throughout our city, pushing fitness, yes, a healthy lifestyle, and a healthy brotherhood. I mean, there's brothers from all walks of life. Yes, if you are like me, where you're a former athlete and you're trying to get back to game shape, or at least get 2 more summers of game shape, they welcome you in. If you are the couch potato, where the remote moves faster than you're welcome too. If you're the marathon runner, yes, you're welcome.
Everyone is welcome.
Everyone is welcome in this program, and the proof is in the pudding. I watched the E9, your participation in the E9 run just recently, and the different walks of life as it relates to fitness, how you guys embraced them and made sure that they were in line and connected and stayed with you through the whole process. And so we've got to talk about this. So David Johnson, an amazing brother. I watch you not just for the Black Men Run, but also who you are, because I think that's important, right? And what you do for the city and for your community. And then Brother Anthony, who we sat in the green room and had some great conversation about fitness. I want to first welcome the both of you to the heart of the city and say thank you for everything you guys are doing for our city.
Well, thank you for having
us. Thank you.
Absolutely. So Anthony, here's an amazing fact that I think everybody needs to know.
Okay.
You made it clear, like, listen, I started this thing roughly about 2 years ago in terms of being serious about a run.
Yeah.
And that wasn't starting it 2 years ago at 22.
Right.
Although, you and I both wish we probably did, right? You started 2 years ago at 40.
At 40 years old. Yeah.
And you're doing amazing things. And so tell me, and tell the listening audience, what was that decision-making day? What turned you into this fitness guru that you are fastly becoming?
I guess you get older, you get wiser. You got to start taking care of your health. And it was just a decision I had to make. I guess call it a midlife crisis or something like that.
I'm familiar.
So, but I researched it, and I guess call me cheap or whatever, or cost effective. And I looked at running, and it was like one of the most cost effective exercises I could do.
Yeah.
It didn't require a membership at a gym,
Right.
I didn't have to have a group at the beginning.
Okay.
But so I ran in my neighborhood, half mile here, half mile there, built up. Then I went online. I kept seeing these posts on Facebook. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this? And I saw BMR. I saw Black Men Run.
Right.
So then I'm getting nervous.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm not ready for these guys.
I felt the same way. Felt the same way.
So I gave it about a good 2 months. Tried to build up my endurance. Then I came down. They had a Wednesday night run, 7 p.m. Behind the Art Museum at Lloyd Hall.
And the rest was history.
And the rest is history.
So David, it's clear that you are the Flavor Flav, like super hype man, Puff Daddy of Black Men Run.
Yeah.
If it's on Facebook about running, David is a part of it. You're posting it, you're pushing it. And we're thankful to you for that, because I think it's important for African American brothers to really address this health issue, you know, and I'll be frank about it. Most of the time when we hear run and black men, we're talking about something else.
Yeah, sorry. Yes.
And so you're taking that narrative and saying, no, we're reworking this thing.
Definitely, definitely.
And so tell me more about your passion around Black Men Run.
Well, I believe in the mission first and foremost. That's why it's easy for me to promote it. And I also believe in the power of running. I believe that if you can focus and get through a 5K, 10K, half marathon, that you can get through most anything in life, because it's not easy and it takes steps and you can't skip a step. You know what I mean? As with most things in life. Right. And it's one of few things in life that what you put into it, you will get out of it. Now, of course, genetics play a part in it. You might not run a 2-hour marathon, you know, but what you put into running, you will definitely see results. And there's not a lot of things in life we can see that. When you go to work, you can be the best worker in the world and still not get that promotion. You can be the best parent in the world and your kids still not come out how you know, foresee it. But with running, what you put into it, you'll definitely get out.
Wow, and that's almost like a lesson for life.
Yeah, it is.
You know, what you put in, you're going to get out. And so tell the listening audience really quickly where they can connect with you and the organization. You guys are running in various areas of the city, and so it's not relegated to location. You don't have to be a Mount Airy person or a West Philly guy. You can connect, you know, pretty much in these, I don't know, are they groups, silos? What do we call
Right now we have 2 runs. We have a Saturday morning run that happens at 33rd and Diamond at 6:30 a.m. We have a Wednesday evening run that happens at 7 p.m. at Lloyd Hall. Other than that, we're on Facebook, Black Men Run Philadelphia. We're on Twitter and Instagram at BMR_PHL. And just follow us, join us on Facebook, post, and we just ask that you'll be a part of the community, even if you're just posting your runs and encouraging others or getting encouragement from the group.
Yes.
So I started running. I was just telling Anthony, I started running around the block 6 in the morning, trying to get my endurance up. I'm following Anthony's strategy on this, right? But what I noticed is even on Facebook, you know, you have the guy who said, I just did 15 miles. And I was in awe of that, right? But then you also have men who are posting saying, listen, man, I put in a mile and a half. And both are being celebrated equally for their efforts. And I think that's really exciting, because for the most part in fitness groups and even in just groups in general, we tend to base it on your effectiveness being the level of output. You know, so the more the merrier. You're doing 30 miles, you're our guy.
Well, the good thing about this group is most of us started running at a later age, like, you know, late in life. Like I started at 29, I'm 37 now.
Okay.
The thing is, we always that half of a block guy. That thing. I never forget. I bought my first pair of running sneakers, and I paid like $125 for them at the time. I only paid $65 for sneakers. That was tops, you know. So and I couldn't wait, so I laced them up, and I'm going to run around the block. Half a block in, I was gasping for air. It was the winter time, so my throat burnt for 2 hours. Afterwards, you know. So when you see that guy who's genuinely happy that he just got a mile out. I'm genuinely happy. Anthony and the group is genuinely happy for you, because we've all been there and we all understand, you know. So today I'm putting in 15 miles, but yesterday I wasn't.
That's amazing. So I'm encouraging every male who is listening to me, black men, get involved. Go find these 2 brothers on social media. Join the group. It is important because it's not just about the fitness, but it's also the fellowship that is occurring and the brotherhood that is occurring. And it is a beautiful thing to see brothers together in unity.
Exactly.
And so my hat's off to the both of you. I think it is an absolute amazing job that you guys are doing. And we will continue here at Heart of the City to continue to push, promote, and I'm going to transition from that half a block guy
Come on now.
to the half marathon guy with the help of my brothers.
For the brothers who's out there, just come on out. I mean, don't stay in the shadows for too long, because the more you come out, the better you get, the faster you get. You know, when you're doing it on your own, it's easier to slack off. When you have that group that you know you're trying to keep up with, you know, it speeds up the process.
That's what the group is all about. It's not about individuals. It's about us coming together. No man runs alone. If you're the slowest guy, I'll run with you. If you're the fastest guy, I'll run with you. If you're in between, I'm right by your side. So just come on out and let's do it.
That sounds like the creed for how brothers need to continue to move forward in this life. And so you have heard from Black Men Run Philadelphia, Brother David and Brother Anthony. They are doing amazing things in the city. Make sure you check them on Facebook, Black Men Run Philadelphia. It is a great organization and a great effort for our brothers and for our city. So, our Black History Fact of the week. Now, I've started doubling up on this thing. But I'll give it to you in two parts from one particular person. So, Paul Robeson, we know him as the actor, the singer, and civil rights activist. Well, what you may not know is that he was once considered for a U.S. vice presidential spot on Henry A. Wallace's 1948 Progressive Party ticket. That's an amazing fact. In 1948, Paul Robeson was sitting down with a crew going, you know what? We need this White House. That is an amazing fact. And he did not get pushed away from that spot. He chose to stay in the space that he was in because he believed the impact was bigger where he was. But that's an amazing fact. I mean, and shout outs to President Barack Obama and the work that he's done, and those who have gone before him. But it's always good to know about some of those unsung heroes that are doing some things that we may not have known about. Now, here's another piece. We talk about Russia. Yes, Russia is a bad word right now in the United States of America. But did you know the Roberson heirloom tomato is an actual variety of tomato that originated in Russia and is named after Paul Robeson because of his enjoyment and his support of Russian culture. He was a fanatic as it related to Russian culture and its music and its art scene. And so the Roberson heirloom tomato is named after one of our own, Brother Paul Robeson. And so those are our Black History Facts of the week. Why do we do these every week? Because we make Black history every day. We do not just lock ourselves into a Black History Month or what someone perceives to be our time to celebrate. We celebrate ourselves all day, every day. And so I'm going to go right into the song of the week because the show is called How a King Moves. I have two other kings in the building. Derek Bailey, the partner of WolvertonBailey. You'll hear about the history that he's making with a zero pollution engine that he is working on. Yes, we have a brother working on a zero pollution engine. And Chill Moody, Philly's king. Yes, and you'll hear about his work in music. And not just in music, but the fact that he's diversified his portfolio, even creating a IPA beer. He didn't just leave and go do a clothing line. He said, I'm doing nice things all across the board. And so his song will be the song of the week. Listen up. This is Chill Moody and Cody Kamar. Your eyes. Good. Great work, brother. Great work. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yep. So listen, I'm gonna make sure I stay in touch with you guys and keep bringing you into the mix. Yeah. Thank you. Chill, what up? How you feeling, bro? Good. So it's funny because when we did the celebrity judge piece for David at VHL Live, we were like, we're going to make sure we come back.
I just got an email about the press conference. VHL Live.
Oh yeah. That was Chill Moody and Cody Kamar. That is actually considered a classic record for the city of Philadelphia.
That took me back, man.
Yeah, man. Nice Things. It's not just a theme, but the point of this movement that Chill has been doing. He is in the building along with Derek Bailey. I'm going to give them their proper introductions. Chill is a Millersville University guy. So Millersville stand up. He refined his craft there and believes in pushing authentic hip hop. And if anyone has listened to his body of work, you know that he is adamant about creating classics in his craft. Now, his independent album, RFM, Running From Myself, debuted in the top 100 hip-hop charts. His videos have been premiered on MTV Jams. He's performed throughout the country. He's a hometown favorite whenever he hits the stage. He was nominated for an MTV O Music Award, and he performed at the awards show.
Yeah. That was
doing some major things. And so it's really exciting to have this king, Chill Moody, in the building, brother.
Pleasure being here.
Absolutely. And next to you, the venture capitalist of all venture capitalists, the inventor of all inventors, Derek Bailey, is in the building. He is the general partner for WolvertonBailey Natural Engines. Now, I'm going to break this down because you're probably going to, your brain is going to spin when I say this, but he's going to make it plain for us. Right now, they are developing a counterpoise biradial engine that's optimized to run on liquefied gas. What does that mean? Basically, they have a patent for what they just touched. And he's working on a near zero pollution engine right now. And it's prototype status. It's not just on CAD. It's moved beyond that, and he's already discussing how that will be licensed to automobile manufacturers. But not only that, he's been a venture capitalist for tons of other firms and cut your teeth in the culinary markets.
Yeah.
Cut your teeth in workforce development markets, temporary staffing solution, of which the family still has a company going strong, being in HR solutions. Curbside Chef had multiple. Curbside Chef had multiple food trucks around the city and the country, and Privileged Living Concierge served to high-end tastemakers in the city. Just about every high-end luxury building had Derek Bailey's thumbprint on it as it relates to concierge services. So it is a great honor as well to have you, one of our own kings in the building, a heart of the city. Welcome to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's get right down to this. I mean, and I'll start off with your phrase, Chill. You had a comment that, or not even really a comment, a line that you had in BET's freestyle. Mm-hmm. You did the backroom freestyle. Sure. Yeah, man. I'm not the king of Philly. I'm a king in Philly. We rule together.
Yeah.
That line should be a T-shirt. That should be, a covenant that we sign as brothers.
Inspired by a T-shirt. It was inspired by a brand called Kings Rule Together. Shout out to Ron Swin.
Word.
And just believing in that whole movement and living that movement. Uplifting my people. As I moved along, and being uplifted by my people as I needed to move along. It's just something I really believe in. So it just made time. It made sense to when I was on that platform, give them that message. It's been a belief of mine, something I've been spoke about. But at that time, BET Cypher, or when I Cypher with the background, I was like, gotta get this one.
Yeah, I gotta lay it out. And it's not, you haven't relegated it just to your crew. Because it's easy to do that, right? It's me and my crew, and we're going to make sure we shine. You said, listen, I'm going to create a footprint that's scalable.
Yeah, we need some type of infrastructure in the city. It hasn't been a music industry here in a while.
Right.
You know, what we have has started to, or at a time was starting to deteriorate. And you know, studios shutting down, some venues shutting down, and things like that. But you know, it's talent here, so we need to find ways to harvest that talent, and you know, hopefully, you know, more things can grow out of that. So that's always been, you know, one of my goals to, you know, not have to leave Philly to make it, you know, make it so I can make it here, and the next one definitely can. And if they want to leave, it's a choice, not an inevitability. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's a big thing, because we have so much brain drain, so much talent, feeling like I gotta leave Philly because the Black Lily's done, and I don't see any other platform for me to rise. And so out of that came some of the premise of nice things, Derek. And you've experienced this too as well from the other side, protecting the brain drain that exists and developing new talent, finding kings and finding, you know, queens who are serious about creating a footprint. And to that end, you've been a venture capitalist on quite a few initiatives. I have to thank you and probably connect the two of you, because Philly Unplugged that I talked about at PHL Live, Derek, myself, and a brother named Lynn Brown were able to do some wonderful things. We actually scaled an open mic in connected cities.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Birmingham was performing in Philly, Philly was performing in Houston, LA was performing in Philly, and vice versa, and creating this network and hub of talent of local artists. And so, Derek, how do you see that footprint? What is the success blueprint for a king who sees the opportunity to move his people forward in the talent pool in the city?
Yeah, well, I think I'd have to pick up on what you said. I think you have to, in the beginning, I think every king stands alone. But you can't make it alone. You know, I think one day, I don't know about you, but someone asked me when I was about 6 years old, what I want to be when I grow up. And I was like, I want to own a company like GM. That's my exact answer.
Wow.
And somebody looked at me and said, son, you're black. It doesn't work like that.
Wow.
I walked down the hall saying, people are not too smart. Too smart.
That's me.
So don't you just know it?
Yeah, that's right.
Be willing to take your punishment, pain, face whatever you have to face, sacrifice, sleep on your mother's couch, whatever you have to do.
So that kind of talks to the hard work component. And Chill, you have a line where you say, you know, hard work beats talent when talent is hardly work.
Yeah.
You know, and it's very clear that you've put in the work. No one can deny Chill's effort, not only in the industry, but your diversification. I mean,
it's enjoyable though. You know, it's work, but it's very enjoyable. I love the hustle. You know, I'm from Philly. I am of that Philadelphia hustle. So it's second nature at this point. You know, moving around as much as I do, dipping and dabbling in, you know, all different types of genres and different, you know, forms of entertainment and you know, just things, you know, community aspect of what I'm doing, and just all of those things. It's like I don't know what to do with my hands. Like I need to be everywhere. Like I'm
the same way.
If not, I'm just like so I gotta keep moving, but I enjoy it.
So let me ask you, two kings, about how you're building your kingdom, because Chill, I feel the same way about that. Was me. It was music. But that's not enough. It's, you know, entrepreneurship. It's building the firm, and then, you know, how do we acquire firms and expand, and you know, how do we turn a brand firm into a content creation firm? Is this whole mindset of I don't want to call it ADHD, because I hate the titles. That energy that you speak of, is that critical in today's time to be a successful entrepreneur?
It's absolutely critical. I mean, you just can't do it without almost boundless energy, because it's not just, I mean, you're running against headwinds. So it's not just me running, not just me walking. I'm walking into a storm, like the wind's blowing back on you.
Right.
You know,
on top of that, it's you know, equally as important to have people around you that have that same drive. They're going to drive you. And especially if you got people that don't necessarily work in the same field as you, but you know, there's ways to cross brand. There's ways to, oh, I see you over there doing that. That's gonna motivate me to, you know, do better in my situation.
Absolutely.
One of my homies has bowled 7 300 games.
Wow.
4 in 1 year at a time.
Yeah.
Different bowling alleys around the city.
Okay.
Might not be nothing to, you know, some people, but that right there is like, yo, you are literally the best at what you do.
Right.
Why wouldn't that inspire me to try to be the best at at what I choose to do, whatever I choose to do?
Right. Right.
And he continues to do, you know, excel in that field. Another one of my homies just played in the World Series of Poker. Like, it's not even just about, you know, what my friends are doing musically. So my friends are winning Grammys and things like that.
Right. Right.
I'm already there with that, you know, trying to, you know, I'm inspired from them regardless.
Right.
But this is, you know, something different. These people that's right around me, you know, just that's great. So you want to surround yourself with people who want to be the best at what they do and like work tirelessly for that. It's gonna make you. It should motivate you to do that.
Is that the standard? Is that the mandate?
I think that is the mandate. You have to. Well, I mean, you can't do anything by yourself. I mean, just plain and simple. You know what I mean? I mean, even you and I know that. I think
very much.
You launched an initiative. You call me. If I launch an initiative, I call you.
Absolutely.
I think we just have to do more of that. I think as a when you're a black entrepreneur right now, at this stage of our development, we're a little bit out there by ourselves.
That's true.
Excuse me, just because there's not enough of us yet. So, you know, I have this new thing that I say we have to make millionaires on purpose. It's not a nice thing.
That's a tweet.
I need to make millionaires on purpose because I need more black millionaires. If I had 20 black millionaire friends, I could raise 20 million like that. I'm like, brother, I lent you $1 million last month. Can you lend me $1 million? I called 20 of my friends that got 20 million. We can go downtown and buy a hotel. And we can do that on purpose. You know, so at this point, we don't have $1 million, but most of us have $1,000.
Yeah.
But how many blacks live in the city?
Right. Right.
Yeah, we have a lot of money.
We do, and it gets spent in all kinds of interesting ways. And one of the things that I appreciate about the both of you is that your business plan for growth doesn't just look at the traditional model. Like, you guys refuse to you know, and it would be so easy, Chill, for you to go, you know what, I'm just going to do a clothing line. Because that's what everybody expects from a hip-hop artist, right? You said, no, I'm good. I'm going to go do an IPA and partner with Doc Street, which is major.
It's like you do the clothing line, you do you know, you do all the norm, you know, to fit the mold, but you excel at that too, because we know that works. So just be the best at that, but then you gotta throw something in there. You know, learned as much as I could about craft beer. For like 4 months was down Dock Street, just maybe like 2-3 times a week, drinking, you know, talking about
that's
beer.
part of the journey too.
That's part of the journey. And just learning everything I could to the point where they trusted me enough, or put enough trust in me to come up with some flavor profiles, pick the hops, you know, things like that, you know, and actually help make the beer. Because you know, when I initially went to them, I was like, I don't want to be just endorsed by y'all. I don't want to just put my face or my name on the beer. I want to really make this beer, learn everything I need to do to really, you know, have some value input in it. You know, I ain't a brewer, I ain't a professional. I'm a leave it to the professionals. But I want to, you know, be involved as much as I can. So then, when somebody sips that beer and they say, "Yo, this is good," I got that same feeling as when you listen to them bars and you're like, "Yo, this was hot." Like, I did that. So I'm going to appreciate it a lot more, and that's going to show, and that will hopefully make people believe in the brand a little bit more. Because, you know, I didn't go buy a vodka company and just, you know, put my name on it and change it from $10 to $30. You know, we made a beer, like, and it's a really good beer.
Listen, so I forgot where you were. You might have been in New York. Were you in New York? And you were doing a radio interview. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Who was
I was up with Ebro and
it was Ebro. Yeah.
That was when we first brewed it. It was back in October of 2016, right before the Roots. I had a performance at the Roots picnic, and leading up to that, you know, we dropped the beer. And initially, it was just on draft, and took some up there, and you know, everybody loved it. Now it's in cans, and it's being like, you know, leading towards like mass production. You know,
Beautiful.
Circulation, you know, everywhere. Right now, you know, at Dock Street, you go to Dock Street, you know what I mean?
And it's you know, as you described it, it's the everyday IPA for kings.
Yeah, it's the everyday IPA, but
for kings.
It'll catch you a little.
It'll catch you.
It'll catch you how you need to be.
In fact, you caught somebody during the interview actually. And so you're making history. You're doing something that they didn't expect, and you're excelling at it. And it's clear because even your comments, you said, how you addressed it. You talk about the flavor profiles. You know, it's not just, yo, it tastes good. It's got oranges.
I mean, I couldn't say that because it do taste good. Right. Quite right. And that Jones live, but
yeah,
I want you to really understand what's going on here.
Absolutely.
Like I divulge a little deeper in with this, you know, because I really care about that. Like I never had that goes back to that hustler mentality. I never had a ceiling on anything I was ever taught. You know, it was never like you can't do anything. And then on top of that, I have never really learned moderation. So if I'm going in on something, I'm going all the way in on something. Mm-hmm. That's a gift and a curse, you know, but that's what it is with me.
Absolutely.
So when I was like, yo, I went all in.
Yeah, I'm all in. That's the same thing with me. It's good to know I'm not alone. So you create history with the IPA, Derek. You said, listen, I'm bursting through on a couple different fronts. You started with Papa Media. You were the first ever to launch free phones. People, before anybody even knew what voice IP was. You came to me and said, look, try this payphone. It's right around the corner. You can call anywhere in the world for 4 minutes, which was insane at the time. And we were just getting used to, you know, the T-Mobile Sidekick.
Oh, yeah.
And you're already on voice IP talking to, you know, governments and municipalities and ad agencies about how to do connectivity and communications.
Yeah.
You know, and then you left that and said, okay, we got that covered. Now we're going to go build an engine.
Well, actually, let me tell you how the engine came about. When we built Papa Media, you remember my partner Del.
Yeah.
Del WolvertonBailey.
Right.
So we'd already worked together for 15 years, you know, because we started with Papa all the way up. So we had like a little gap of projects.
Okay.
So, you know, Del's a religious man.
Yeah.
Calls me in the middle of the night, said that God had just sent him a revelation about an engine. Okay, now Del's an electrical engineer, not a mechanical engineer.
Right.
Okay, so you have a non-mechanical engineer and a black guy going to launch an engine.
Sounds like a bar joke coming there.
Like a bar joke.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, when your friend calls you up and he says that God says we have to do this,
we got to do it.
Okay, we have to do this.
We got to do it.
I didn't know anything about engines. I'm an engine expert now.
Wow.
You know, and he's like a mechanical engineer now, in addition to his electrical engineering skills. You know, so when you want to do something, you don't have to know it. I mean, you didn't know how to make beer, but you decide you're going to make beer, and he wasn't going to make a crappy beer. He's going to make a great beer. If I'm going to be in the engine space, I'm like you. If I get into a space, I'm going to master that space.
You have to.
Like you said, it's what kings do.
It's what kings do. You know, Chill, you have this line, and I can just pull from your lines all day. You know what I mean? Great things come to those who work. I'm good on those who wait. Yeah, that was from my eyes. And so that line was real major to me for a couple different fronts, because a lot of people would think that is, you know, a line of someone who is just rushing and getting ready to trip over their feet and fall, you know, head first. But what I saw through that line was, I'm prepared to go the distance already. I don't need a stop sign. I don't need a traffic light. I don't need nobody to tell me go. I already see the goal. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get it.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, you know, you see where that destination is. It's a great thing. Like, I'm working to those, you know what I mean?
Right up there is you not have to mind when people laugh at you. I'm sure you said you're going to make a beer. A couple of your friends probably chuckle. The same.
And now they're sipping. Now they're sipping. Right? So it's almost like, so when I heard that line, I tell you, Chill, I think metaphorically, so I went right back to a pool.
Okay.
You know, so if you're like in the pool growing up, you know, it was cold, right? So we didn't have heated pools growing up, right? So you can sit and wait for that pool to get warm. You'd probably be there about 3 weeks before it even got close to being warm, or you could just be prepared to get in and adjust and move, right? And then you find your legs, and next thing you know, you're comfortable with whatever that temperature is, and you own it. And so what's the advice for those individuals who are listening to the two of you going, these are some of the same conversations I'm having in the barbershop. These are some of the same conversations I'm having with my brothers as we're in the lab, as we're wherever they are. How do we help them adjust? How do we help them dive in that pool and go?
The best is exactly that. It's great that you're having these conversations.
Right.
But these are supposed to be the precursor or something. It shouldn't stop with these conversations. It starts with these conversations. And it's an amazing start.
Mm-hmm.
Acknowledge that,
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed I'm having more and more of these conversations. You'll get to a point where it's like, all right, it's time to take action on some of these.
Right.
You'll start seeing things change around you, and you're like, yo, I was thinking of that, or I should have done that, and you're like, nah, I can't do that no more.
Yeah.
It's time to just stop talking. You know what I mean?
And go.
But it's important to have those conversations. So if you just start to have those, sooner you take action, the more you'll see. From all of that.
See it take place.
Yeah.
And so, Derek, you have this engine, and people are still trying to figure out, what is counterpoise?
Okay.
Right? So take us there. Take us into that space.
Okay, I'm going to make it quick. A friend of mine, as a matter of fact, one of my shareholders, he told me just this past Saturday. He's like, when you explain something to someone, there's what's critical, there's what's important, and then there's what's good to know. So he said, forget about the last two. So I'm going to tell you about what's critical. What's critical about our engine? First is what you have to understand about engines. People think that petroleum is bad, or this fuel is better than that fuel. Engine is not about what goes in, it's about what comes out. 40% of the fuel that you put into your car is not burned in the combustion cycle. It doesn't burn all the fuel. That is your pollution.
Wow.
So before we start talking about MPGs and things like that, which our engine contributes in that area also, but we think the big move is, first, let's get rid of this pollution problem. And when you think about the pollution problem, people think the problem is with cars, because everyone talks about electric cars. Electric cars, there's the space for electric cars, but if we made all the cars electric, we're going to solve about 23% of the pollution problem. The big pollution problem comes from the things that we can't do without. Trucks, trains, the things that move heavy goods, ships, your boat. These are the big polluters. So if you look at the big engine fleet, if you look at the Paris Agreement, Obama has a section in there that they have actual criteria for what you call heavy-duty engines.
Okay.
So they don't have any. I mean, that's like a critical part, because everyone knows that this is 7% of the world's fleet,
Right.
but they use about 36% of the world's fuel, and therefore create most of the pollution. So my engine does a couple things. First, we have, it's technical, but we do some things with our engine that allow us to have a longer burn cycle. So we burn up most of the fuel. And that's the key point right there. So if you burn all the fuel, then automatically there's less pollution. Now, at the same time that we burn up all the fuel, we also create more power. And my engine, I'll say this about engines. Most engines complete their engine cycle in 720 degrees. My engine completes its cycle in 360 degrees. That's why it's called a counterpoise. It still equals 720, but 360 this way and 360 in the opposite direction.
Wow.
So you get two power strokes. So one of the hallmarks of my engine is a 4-cylinder gives you the same power strokes as an 8-cylinder current engine.
Through your technology.
Through my technology. So if you have an 8-cylinder that's running your truck, I can give you that same power with 4 cylinders. So if I have half the cylinders, naturally I'm using half the gas.
Wow.
And if I'm burning all that gas, I'm also not putting out pollution. So these are the goals of our engine. So like you said, we have prototypes, both in metal and in plastic, but there's no substitute for a production engine. And that's where we are now. So now we have to build this that we can actually take it and put it in the truck, and that's our next step. And actually our next step is to build a Class 7 truck engine. Class 7 is a very difficult sector.
Okay.
So we thought that if we did that engine first, then everyone else kind of gets the message that this is a new way to build engines. Our engine is not a new engine. It's a new way to build engines. So if the engine that we are benchmarking our engine against is built by a company called Cummins Westport. biggest engine maker in the world.
Right.
I think they did like 34 billion last quarter. So they've been working with the state of California, and they have this engine called the ISLG. It's a great engine, just a converted diesel that runs on natural gas.
Okay.
Everyone loves natural gas because natural gas is the cleanest of all fuels. So if you're going to burn a fuel, you want to burn natural gas. So I could have tackled gasoline first, but there's a few more impurities when you burn gasoline. I'm trying to get you a zero pollution engine off the back. So my best shot at that is to use natural gas. So that's why we're using natural gas. And that's why we want to make that size engine, because the biggest company, the biggest engine maker in the world is trying to solve that space. So if my engine beats their engine,
Yeah, game over.
I'd say we're pretty shaky.
Game over. Yeah. We got a new kingdom to take on.
Well, that's a new kingdom, too.
No, isn't that crazy?
And it's a global solution. So yeah. I mean, who's
This is grown man business. I hope you're listening to what's happening right here in Philadelphia. These brothers are these two brothers are insanely serious about moving the dial, and then moving opportunity for everyone. So it's not just, hey, once we get in, we're closing the door and locking it up. It's saying, look, we're gonna go into this mansion, set it up, make sure the bathrooms are straight, the bedrooms are straight, make sure that the man cave is there, so that when you get there, you will have a great experience too, and then you can take on and rehab and continue to build on the mansion. And so let's talk shop. Let's talk king speak. What is it that young kings and kings who are in transition, going through challenges, whatever their case may be, they have that $1 million idea, that life-changing idea. What do they need to know? What's on your heart that you got to give them right now?
Go first. You want to go first? This is the number one advice that I give, like all new entrepreneurs. Okay, you have an idea. I need $1 million. If that $1 million stops you, so I tell the guy this. Okay, I accept that you need $1 million.
Right.
Here's my question. How much money do you need tomorrow? Tomorrow you just need business cards. So right now you don't need $1 million. You need $37. You get the business cards. Okay. How much money do I need the next day? I don't need $1 million. Now maybe I need $1,500.
Right. And then go get
Okay.
that.
You just keep doing that, and pretty soon people see you moving. Everyone likes to get on the moving train.
Wow.
You don't have to be moving fast. But if you're sitting still, talking, nobody's going to get on the train because they can stand around and smoke. It's just sitting in the station.
Right.
So you just have to keep moving. You have to keep moving. You can't let these perceived mental barriers stop you from pursuing your goal. Because if I woke up this morning and said, to finish our engine, we need 12 million. If I don't have 12 million right now.
Right.
So I'd just be stuck.
Yeah.
But actually, we just spent
We're getting there.
$23,000 this morning, and we had that money.
Right.
It's a long way between $23,000 and $12 million. So that's the first goal. You know what I mean? So stair stepping, and in the beginning, listen to yourself and take your own advice.
Wow. So it's interesting because you talked about that earlier. These perceived obstacles. Someone told you, hey, GE is out of the question. It's not even in your category. And you're like, that's your problem. That ain't my problem. I'm a king. I got this.
Absolutely.
All right? So even at a young age, your failings will not be my failings. They will just be blueprints for my success.
Here's the catch. This is where you get caught.
Okay.
The people who are telling you not to do it, it's not because they don't even believe in you necessarily. They're afraid for you. Like black parents love their kids to death. They're afraid for you. They want you to get a job and be safe.
Right. Play it safe. Right.
Play it safe. Because there was a time we couldn't even get the job.
That's true.
So now that you can get the job, get the job.
Yeah, but the world's
Be
not
safe.
safe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you might as well go.
Grandma, I'm going to start this beer company. I'm going to need like $1 million in the next 8 months. Grandma's like, oh, son, please.
Stay safe.
You're a smart boy. Let's see if we can get you in the electric company.
Right.
And we have to listen to yourself.
And change that paradigm. Change that conversation.
And change that paradigm. And then when enough of us are doing it,
Right.
it's no longer even strange anymore.
Wow. Chill.
I can say Chill is doing it. Chill is pointing at me. We pointing at you. So when there are a dozen of us, so imagine we had a dozen connected black millionaires in Philadelphia.
Game's over.
Getting started.
The tweet just got revised right there. Game started. Period. Chill. So you've started the game. Like, I mean, there's no conversation around practice. You're on the floor taking shots, not just for your group and your family and legacy, but for the community. What do the young kings need to hear from your heart?
You gotta take pride in what you're doing, but also, you know, what's worked for me. I take a lot of pride in where I'm from.
Okay.
I know the history of my city. I know the history of my city in different industries, and then like, you know, like actual, you know, history. Like, I take pride in being from here. I know how people look at Philly and how much, you know, I don't want to say envy, but like, there's a lot of emulation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, you know, taking our talent, borrowing, but like extended borrowing. So there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way. Like I said, like leaving should be a choice, not an inevitability. And you gotta take pride in wanting to create that here. You mean, because I'm comfortable here. I wanna bring more people here. You know, I wanna bring more people here. It's bringing more money here. You know, if we all getting in, I mean, you take it to the political side. If we all over here getting in and we doing enough, y'all doing enough to support us, where we all getting money.
Right.
There goes some more taxable income for you.
I want to build engines here. You can get rid of some money. I like to build some engines here. That's a lot of jobs.
The word is out, council. Tia Mel's on her cell right now, hitting council up. And that's real, because African Americans, black people, should have a stake in manufacturing. The waterfront should not be confined to those of other colors, right? African Americans should not just be working the waterfront, but also having warehouses and manufacturing plants on the waterfront. That's a conversation that we have to talk about in the 1st Congressional District, and I'm gonna leave that right there. So
that starts with capital.
It starts with capital, and there's enough there, and we've got to make sure that it gets to brothers like you who understand how to maneuver it and make it make sense. And so, quick question. What's a king mean to you? What does it mean to be a king?
Responsibility. Because once you assume that title, okay, then you're obligated to lead and protect.
Absolutely.
It is right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You gotta be, you know, a king in the right sense is of the people. You're there to represent us, and you gotta do it right. And you gotta make sure your kingdom is right. And you know, your kingdom could be your family, your kingdom could be your city, your community, whatever. But you gotta be a king in every sense of that. It ain't just about, you know, the regal, the fly stuff, you know, the way we looking at you.
That's the last
of the pedestal. That's cool, and that's part of it, because you know you want to stay there, you know, but that's not the important part of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta. I don't want to say uplift, but you just gotta be there for the kingdom.
So as king, you're warrior number 1.
Warrior number 1. First of battle.
First of battle.
Let's go.
That's right.
Wow. What's next, Chill? Let me rephrase that. What's not next?
Right. That's usually how I go.
Yeah.
So Nice Things IPA is coming back in stock. It keeps selling out like super quick. It'll be back next Wednesday. It's like exclusive information. I just actually got the text on that. So next Wednesday we back. New music. I'm working with Hank McCoy on a bunch of new stuff.
Beautiful.
Me and West Manchild just locked in on some new stuff. I got some like really, really special projects coming. I'm doing some work with the Philadelphia 76ers this year. Taking a bigger role in, you know, my Philly music ambassador situation. PHL Live is coming back. It's just so much. But it's,
the calendar's full.
It's a lot of nice things coming up. Like, it's, you know, I said at the start of 2017, like, it's going to be a nice year.
Right.
And it's been, you know, first it was just me putting that positive energy out there, hoping something to come back. But I had to work to make something come back, and then it's been the nicest year. I honestly say that, so we just looking at it strong.
That's what's up. So Derek, what's next? What's up to play?
This engine project is so big. Because you know me, I'm always a little over here, a little over there.
Right.
100% WolvertonBailey. It's global.
Yeah.
It's global. It applies to everything that's not a turbine. Small airplanes, helicopters. I mean,
The list goes on.
this project is so big that I'm just going to be WolvertonBailey until the foreseeable future. I can't even imagine doing anything. It's that big.
Wow.
It's dope when you can get to one of those. You know, we do so much, and you know, we comfortable doing a lot of things. We find that one joint is like, yo, I'm willing to put these blinders on just for a second to get this one done. Yeah. You know how special that one is, because that means that one's gonna make everything.
Because I'm not just playing. I'm not just having a good game. I'm rewriting the game.
Rewriting the game. Now, you know, I have my Dignity Watch project.
Yeah, let's talk about it real quick. We literally have 2 minutes. I'm gonna give them to you. Let's talk about that Dignity Watch. Council, listen up.
Yeah, one of the ideas that I had, because the gentleman from the state stopped into my brother's staffing office, and he was just talking about the whole recidivism problem, and it made me look at the parole system and that ankle bracelet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to use our technical skill in WolvertonBailey to turn that ankle bracelet into a watch. And that's why I call it the Dignity Watch Monitor. Because, I mean, the thing on the ankle...
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so if we can give you the same protection for the community by being able to track, but also it's a computer that can actually help the offenders, because, you know, we don't want our brothers going back to jail.
No.
So, you know, we don't want them late getting home and this kind of thing. So we can use software to address a lot of those problems. So, you know, I have the latest prototype coming in like in a week or so, and then I'm going to be looking for a president by that company, so I can focus on WolvertonBailey.
Wow. So he just gave you some secret sauce on the next major moving project. You've heard from 2 excellent kings, and I want to be one of the ones to publicly say, from one black man to the other, we appreciate the work that you guys have done, and the fact that you are changing the game, not just for yourselves and your family, but for our community, and giving us a shot. And I hope that you were listening to all of these gems that these kings just dropped. They talked to you about building the kingdom, fixing the West Wall, making sure that you are protecting you and yours for some time to come. Get out there, jump in the water, sit down with brothers who are doing it and who have done it, learn and glean from them, and be better and do better, because the opportunities are out there, and if they're not, go make them. There's enough brothers that are here willing and resourceful enough to help others who are willing and resourceful enough to do the work. The show was titled How a King Moves. I hope you had notes. If not, check out the podcast. Thank you for tuning in live on Facebook, live and live stream. As always, feel beautiful, look beautiful, and act beautiful. Why? Because you are beautiful. I'll see you next week. Good stuff. So listen, we are still live. Just so Chill, we got a request from our audience to give them some work. You know, everybody wants to hear something.
So you want me to rap?
Give them 16 bars. Give them 16 bars.
Wait, you serious?
Yeah, you're live right now.
Alright,
So much content.
yeah, I'm like, where I want to go in the conversation. I think I'm right now. So I come from a place that's built on hope, but lately it's hard to get inspired. Police sirens are drown the sound of a kid that's crying. Blocks hot, they tears frying. For years I've been trying, but growing sick and tired of being sick and tired. Besides race, there's what is and what ain't right. In that case, we should be fighting the same fight. I tell them our lives matter, and they can back that like all lives matter. See, that's the part of the chatter that's going to divert our attention from the problem at hand. But understand, it's part of their plan. Too much hate where I'm from, and we don't want the evil. We just want to be equal. For once to be treated like one of the people. The way it's wrote, and I quote, and justice for all. Fine print, no justice for y'all. It's time to rewrite wrongs and rewrite laws. Do more than recite songs. Until that time comes, we'll fight on together.
Grown man business. That's what happens when you tune in live. You have been watching HeartCity Live. That's Chill Moody, Derek Bailey. We will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Good stuff.